Walking will never rebuild leg strength after 60, but these 6 exercises will. Walking is great for heart health, mood, and circulation. But if you are over 60 and believe that walking is enough to maintain your leg strength, I need to tell you with respect and clarity, it is not. Walking does not create enough overload to stimulate muscle growth or maintenance. And without strong muscles in your legs, the risk of falls, joint pain, and loss of independence grows with every passing year. Today, you will discover the exercises that actually work to rebuild that strength, regardless of age. Before we begin, please leave a comment below with your name and the city you are watching from. We would love to know. Exercise number 1, chair squat. Let us start with the most underestimated and, at the same time, most powerful exercise for those returning to leg strengthening after 60. The chair squat seems too simple to be taken seriously, but that simplicity is precisely what makes it so effective for this audience. It replicates one of the most essential movements of daily life, which is the act of sitting down and standing back up. The muscles engaged here are the quadriceps, the glutes, and the hamstrings, along with the stabilizers of the knee and ankle. Together, these groups form what we call the posterior and anterior chains of the legs. When these muscles are strong, you climb stairs with confidence, get up from the floor without struggle, and walk without fear of tripping. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity showed that older adults who practiced functional lower limb exercises for 12 weeks demonstrated significant improvements in strength, balance, and walking speed. This is not just about appearance. It is real and measurable quality of life. To perform correctly, stand in front of a sturdy chair with your feet shoulder-width apart. Lower yourself slowly as if you're about to sit, controlling the movement for 3 to 4 seconds. Lightly touch the seat and push back up with force, squeezing your glutes at the top. Keep your chest lifted and your knees pointing in the direction of your feet throughout the entire movement. Do not allow your torso to fall forward. Imagine you are holding a book between your chin and your chest during the descent. A very common mistake is using the chair as a support to drop your body down. This completely removes the muscular effort and defeats the purpose of the exercise. The chair exists only as a depth reference, not as a resting seat. Another frequent error is performing the movement too quickly, especially during the lowering phase. The slow, controlled descent is where a large portion of the real strengthening actually happens. Start with 2 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions, resting 60 seconds between sets. As you gain confidence and strength, progress to 3 sets of 12 repetitions. People with a knee replacement or acute joint pain should consult a physical therapist before starting. Exercise number 2, step up. The step up is an exercise that looks like a simple stair climb, but when performed with attention and intention, it becomes one of the most complete tools for unilateral leg strengthening. And do you know why that matters so much? Because life is not bilateral. You do not climb stairs with both legs at the same time. Every step requires a single leg to support your entire body weight. The great value of the step-up lies in working each leg independently, correcting muscular imbalances that we often do not even realize we have. In addition to the quadriceps and glutes, it intensely challenges proprioception, which is your body's ability to sense its position in space. And it is precisely this ability that declines with age and is directly linked to the risk of falls. Regular practitioners of this exercise report feeling much more secure when going up and down stairs in daily life. To perform, use a sturdy step or a platform between 6 and 8 inches in height. Place one foot completely on the step with the heel firmly supported. Rise by pressing that heel into the surface, without pushing off with the leg that is still on the ground. At the top, fully extend the knee and squeeze the glute. Step back down with control, placing your foot back on the floor gently. Alternate legs with each repetition. The most common error I see in this exercise is using the leg on the ground to push off, as if giving a small jump. This turns the step up into a compensation exercise, rather than one of real strengthening. The leg on the step must do all the work. One way to check if you are doing it correctly, as you rise, the lower leg should be relaxed, only lightly touching the ground for balance. Begin with 2 sets of 8 repetitions per leg, resting 45 to 60 seconds between sets. Progress to 3 sets of 12 when the movement feels fluid and safe. Those with severe balance issues may lightly rest a hand on a wall or handrail during the learning phase. This exercise is contraindicated for those with acute knee or ankle pain or an unstable ankle without professional supervision. Before we continue, if you're over 50, take a look at this statistic. According to the WHO, between 28 and 35% of people over 65 suffer at least one fall each year. More than 70% of these falls happen inside the home. And today, falls are the leading cause of loss of independence among older adults worldwide. Many people blame it on bad luck, but in reality, it comes down to a lack of strength, balance, mobility, and physical preparedness. That's why our team created Biological Armor, a complete protocol for people in their 50s, 60s, or 70s who want to make sure they never go through that. Inside the protocol, you'll get a special home exercise program designed to build functional strength, real balance, and reverse years of poor posture and physical neglect without damaging your joints. You'll also learn the habits scientists have identified as common among the populations with the highest life expectancy in the world, habits that less than 1% of the Western population actually practices. Access it now by clicking the pinned link in the first comment of this video, or by pointing your phone's camera at the code appearing on the screen. Exercise number 3, high knee march in place. If there is one exercise that combines strength, coordination, and balance in a single simple movement, it is the high knee march in place. It is the kind of exercise that does not look impressive on video, but that literally transforms your ability to move safely and confidently in everyday life. What makes this exercise particularly valuable is its ability to activate the hip flexors, the lower abdominals, and the ankle stabilizing muscles all at the same time. These muscle groups are often the most weakened in people over 60, especially in those who have spent long periods sitting or with little regular physical activity. Weak hip flexors are, in fact, one of the reasons many older adults begin to take short, shuffling steps when they walk, a pattern that dramatically increases the risk of tripping. To perform, stand with your feet hip-width apart, near a wall in case you need support. Lift one knee to hip height, keeping your core engaged and your torso upright. Lower it with control and repeat on the other side at a steady and deliberate rhythm, as if you are marching in place. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your gaze forward. Avoid leaning your torso to the side with each lift. Remember that knee height is far more important than speed. Many people start too fast and end up taking small, shallow steps instead of a true march with full elevation. Prioritize movement quality. You will know you are doing it correctly when you feel a slight burn in your hip flexors after 20 to 30 seconds of marching. For beginners, I recommend starting with 30 seconds of continuous marching, resting for 1 minute, and repeating twice. Progress by increasing the time to 60 seconds per set. Those with serious balance issues should perform the exercise near a wall or chair for safety support. Exercise number 4, glute bridge. Here we arrive at one of the most strategic exercises on this list. The glute bridge is almost an antidote to everything that a sedentary lifestyle does to your body from your 50s and 60s onward. The gluteus maximus is the largest muscle in the human body, and 99% of people do not know that. What most people also do not know is that when this muscle is weak, it compromises pelvic stabilization, overloads the lower back, and dramatically increases the risk of back pain. Many cases of chronic lower back pain that appear to be spinal issues are, in reality, a direct consequence of inactive glutes that have stopped performing their support function. The glute bridge is one of the safest and most effective ways to reactivate this dormant muscle group after years of sedentary life. In addition, a well-developed gluteus maximus has a powerful metabolic effect. Being the largest muscle in the body, when stimulated it increases calorie burn, even at rest. This phenomenon is known as excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. In simple terms, training your glutes causes your body to burn more energy even hours after your workout. To perform, lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Press your heels firmly into the floor and lift your hips until your body forms a straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. Squeeze your glutes firmly at the top and hold for 2 to 3 seconds. Lower with control, but do not let your hips rest completely on the floor before the next repetition. A very common mistake is pushing through the toes instead of the heels. This shifts the work to the quadriceps and completely removes the focus from the glutes. Always press through your heels. Another frequent error is allowing the knees to fall outward during the movement, which indicates weakness in the hip abductor muscles. Start with 2 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions, resting 60 seconds between sets. Increase to 3 sets of 15 as you gain strength and control of the movement. People with an active lumbar disc herniation should consult a doctor or physical therapist before performing this exercise. Exercise number 5, standing leg curl. Here we arrive at an exercise that targets precisely the most neglected muscle group in leg training, the hamstrings. While all attention goes to the quadriceps and glutes, the hamstrings get forgotten. And that neglect carries a high and silent cost. The imbalance between quadriceps and hamstring strength is one of the leading causes of knee injuries and joint instability in people over 60. When the hamstrings are weak, the knee loses part of its dynamic protection and becomes vulnerable. Ideally, hamstring strength should correspond to at least 60 to 70% of quadriceps strength, and in most sedentary people over 60, that ratio falls well below that threshold. Beyond their role in knee flexion, the hamstrings are also responsible for hip extension, making them essential for walking, climbing ramps, and any movement that requires propulsion. To perform, stand with the support of a chair or wall in front of you. Bend one knee, bringing your heel towards your glute, keeping your thighs parallel and your body upright. Hold for 1 second at the point of maximum contraction and lower with full control. Avoid letting the corresponding thigh move forward during the movement. Keep your core lightly engaged throughout the exercise to protect your lower back. Work one leg at a time to ensure bilateral and symmetrical activation. The real secret of this exercise lies in controlling the lowering phase, known as the eccentric phase. Many people bring the heel up with effort and simply let it drop, but the controlled descent represents 40 to 50% of the exercise's hypertrophy potential and is also where the greatest tendon strengthening stimulus occurs. Always lower in 2 to 3 seconds. If you experience cramping in the hamstrings during the exercise, that is a sign this muscle has gone too long without adequate stimulation. With regular practice, this goes away. For progression, begin with 2 sets of 10 repetitions per leg. Increase to 3 sets of 15 when the movement feels comfortable and controlled. People with hamstring tendon injuries or patellofemoral syndrome should seek professional guidance before starting. Before we continue, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Having consistent access to science-based information is what will allow you to progress with long-term health in the world of exercise. Exercise number 6, wall sit. The wall sit may not seem like the most dynamic exercise in the world, but its effectiveness in terms of isometric strengthening of the quadriceps and glutes is well established and frequently underestimated. And there is one important detail. By eliminating the need for active balance, it allows people with joint limitations to train with genuine safety and real intensity. In this exercise, you remain static in a squat position with your back supported against the wall, which eliminates rotational stress on the knees and places the focus directly on the musculature we need to strengthen. It is the type of exercise that feels easy in the first 10 seconds and becomes very serious after 30. I have observed that regular practitioners show a remarkable improvement in stability when walking on uneven surfaces, which is precisely where most falls happen. What many people do not know is that the time under tension generated by the wall sit is comparable in terms of muscular stimulus to that of dynamic sets, making it particularly effective for those returning to activity after a long period of inactivity. To perform, lean your back against the wall and slowly slide down until your knees are at an angle close to 90 degrees or slightly above depending on your comfort level. Your feet should be shoulder width apart and slightly in front of your body so that your knees are aligned with your ankles. Hold the position for the designated time, breathing normally and keeping your core lightly engaged. Avoid resting your hands on your knees during the hold, as this removes load from the muscle precisely when it needs to work hardest. A frequent error is allowing the knees to travel too far past the feet, concentrating excessive pressure on the joint. Keep your knees above your ankles. Another important mistake is holding your breath during the position, which unnecessarily raises blood pressure. Breathe in a continuous and controlled manner. Start by holding for 20 seconds, rest for 60 seconds, and repeat 3 times. Progress by increasing the time to 30, then 45, then 60 seconds per set. People with a history of severe knee injuries or a recent joint replacement should consult a professional before including this exercise in their routine. Now let us move on to the 2 bonus exercises, which may surprise you with their simplicity and the impact they produce. Bonus exercise number 1, calf raise. The calf is called by specialists the second heart of the human body. It acts as a muscular pump that pushes blood back up to the heart against gravity every time it contracts. When the calf is weak, circulation in the legs suffers, the risk of varicose veins and swelling increases, and bodily balance is compromised in ways that many people do not associate with this muscle. Studies show that calf strength is directly linked to walking stability and the ability to recover from a stumble before it becomes a fall. This is especially critical after 60. A strong calf is literally what prevents a misstep from turning into a hip fracture. Research on falls in older adults consistently points to calf weakness among the leading risk predictors, alongside static balance and hand grip strength. To perform, stand with your feet parallel, preferably on a step with your heels slightly past the edge to allow for greater range of motion. Rise as high as possible onto the balls of your feet, hold for 2 seconds at peak contraction, and lower slowly, allowing your heels to drop below the level of the step. This increased range makes a real difference in muscle recruitment. Use a wall or handrail for support. If you do not have a step available, perform the exercise on flat ground. the benefit is still significant. The calf is a predominantly slow twitch muscle, which means it responds better to longer sets than other muscles do. For maximum results, work between 15 and 20 repetitions per set, with the lowering phase lasting at least 2 seconds. Over the weeks, vary the position of your feet, parallel for the central portion of the muscle, slightly turned out for the inner portion, and slightly turned in for the outer portion. A common mistake is performing the movement quickly and with a shallow range without reaching full extension. A half raise without the heel truly descending below the step does not activate the calf with the same depth as a full contraction. Start with 2 sets of 15 repetitions. Progress to 3 sets of 20 as the muscle adapts. People with active Achilles tendon issues should avoid the step version and seek professional guidance before progressing. Bonus exercise number 2. Deep squat hold. This is the most unconventional bonus on this list, and most likely the one that will surprise you the most. We are not talking about a dynamic squat. We are talking about the static position of a deep squat, that natural resting posture you see in many Asian cultures when people pause to rest, wait, or observe something on the ground. It is a position the human body was designed to occupy, but one that most people in Western cultures have lost after decades of life in chairs and sofas. What makes this position so powerful is that it represents the human squat in its most natural form. Recovering it, even partially, brings profound gains in ankle, hip, and knee mobility, while also isometrically strengthening the entire leg musculature and noticeably improving proprioception. Those who can comfortably hold this posture have a considerably more solid musculoskeletal foundation than those who have never practiced it. To perform, begin standing with your feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart, turn slightly outward. Lower yourself slowly into a deep squat position, using a chair or a door frame for support if needed. Do not force any joint that is in pain. The initial goal is simply to tolerate the position for 15 to 30 seconds, without excessive compensation through the torso and without lifting your heels off the ground. Do not expect to do this perfectly right away. Most people who try for the first time can only hold the position for a few seconds, and that is completely fine. Progression here is purely a matter of time. From 15 seconds move to 30, then 45, then 1 minute. The gains in mobility and isometric strength appear consistently over the weeks. This exercise is contraindicated for people with advanced knee osteoarthritis, a recent hip or knee replacement, or acute joint pain. In that case, seek guidance from a physical therapist before attempting this position. If you enjoyed this and want to discover the best stretches practiced by the Japanese to undo years of neglecting the body, we have a video appearing on the screen right now showing each one of them in detail. Go check it out, and do not forget to look into our biological shielding protocol as well. Thank you for watching all the way through, and may God bless you, my friend.